humans are free, uncovering the real truth for my universal family. I love you all. Labels, Thursday, April 14, 2011. Amazing. Scientists, our DNA is mutating as we speak. We are developing 12 strands. 2 nights ago, before I went to sleep, I asked the creation to guide me to another important subject. The next morning, my father called me to say that the scientist made strange discoveries regarding the human DNA. Even though I usually administrate this kind of information to my father by force, now he was the one updating me. Even so, I haven't paid attention to the subject until later that evening. To be honest, I was amazed to read that the modern medicine finally released to the press that the first human with 3 DNA strands had been born. Of course, the case of little Alfie is the first one to be officially acknowledged by the medical community, but not the only one existent. In fact, I've read years ago that independent doctors were already working with children who developed the 3rd DNA strand. But are they different than the average human? I am absolutely delighted to inform you that they are very special, and in fact all humans are mutating to a superior species as we speak. Please relax and enjoy the article. The modern medicine officially acknowledged the first case of a child with 3 DNA strands. Finally. 2. Convention of geneticists from around the world, we are making an evolutionary change. We will be developing 12 DNA helixes. Each extra strand of DNA will grant us superhuman abilities that we are now calling paranormal. 3. DNA and body changes, for physical DNA. Spiritual connections, Alfie Clamp, the first acknowledged case by the modern medicine of a human with 3 DNA strands. A 2-year-old boy has become the only person in the world to be diagnosed with an extra strand in his DNA. Brave Alfie Clamp was born blind and with severe disabilities, which led doctors to carry out various tests. They revealed his 7th chromosome has an extra strand of material, which has never been documented anywhere in the world before. Doctors are baffled at his condition, which is so rare it does not have a name. Medics also have no idea whether his condition will improve or reduce his life expectancy. Alfie, from Nuneaton, Works, can now see, and he will have an operation this month to fix an intestinal problem caused by his condition. His parents Gemma and Richard Clamp only discovered something was wrong with their son after they first took him home. Within days, he was rushed back to hospital after he stopped breathing and his lips turned blue. Then when he was 6 weeks old, doctors discovered he had a rare abnormality in his DNA. Mrs. Clamp said, "When the doctors told us, I was absolutely devastated. As a pregnant mom, you spend 9 months thinking about what it will be, like when your baby takes their first step, or claps their hands. Having a boy like Alfie makes you appreciate the little things." He didn't roll over until he was 18 months old, but we were so excited when he did a microscopic image of human chromosomes. Little Alfie Clamp has an extra arm on one of his, in what is believed to be a world first. His condition left Alfie unable to see until he was 3 months old, and his muscles were so weak he could not roll over on his own. He still suffers serious digestive problems, and needs a cocktail of drugs every day to help his body absorb vital nutrients. He also suffers fits which sparked by high temperatures, and metabolic problems stop him from eating or drinking. Since he was born, Alfie has been rushed to hospital 6 times, including twice just last month. When he stopped breathing, his parents even believed he was dying twice, and were stunned when Alfie made a full recovery after spending time in hospital. Mr. and Mrs. Clamp, who also have 10-year-old daughter Georgia who is perfectly healthy, had their DNA tested but were not carriers of the faulty gene. Mr. Clamp said, "The doctors told us there was nothing we could have done to prevent it. I don't think we'll ever know why it happened. I was holding him in my arms and I could see his eyes start to focus on me. It was a massive milestone for us because we didn't know if that would ever happen. We even took a photograph of the 2 of us sat there, looking at each other. Having Alfie has changed our lives. Everything revolves around him. But he is such a happy boy and he has brought a lot of joy to our lives. Whenever we go to hospital, all the doctors and nurses say, what a pleasure it is to see Alfie too." Scientists, humans are mutating as we speak. Interview to Brenda Fox by Patricia Resch. Dr. Brenda Fox provides evidence of DNA and cellular changes in this article by Patricia Resch. Dr. Fox is the holistic practitioner of the Avalon Wellness Center in Mount Shasta, California. The Avalon Clinic represents the re-emergence of the ideal of healing as practiced on the original Isle of Avalon. Dr. Fox has proven through blood tests that some people have actually developed new strands of DNA. Brenda, tell us a little about your background. BF, I have doctorates in physiology and naturopathy. During my training in Europe I also was involved with the media, and this still continues in film and management. As you know, I'm working with Fox Television Network to bring about understanding of extraterrestrials and their role in what is happening with mankind at this time. The most well-known are sightings and the 10 files. PR. What are the changes that are happening at this time on the planet, and how are our bodies being affected? BF. There are major changes, mutations that haven't occurred, according to geneticists, since the time we supposedly came out of the water. Several years ago in Mexico City there was a convention of geneticists from around the world, and the main topic was the DNA change. We are making an evolutionary change, yet we don't know what we are changing into. PR. How is our DNA changing? BF. Everyone has one double helix of DNA. What we are finding is that there are other helixes that are being formed. In the double helix there are 2 strands of DNA coiled into a spiral. It is my understanding that we will be developing 12 helixes. During this time, which seems to have started maybe 5 to 20 years ago, we have been mutating. This is the scientific explanation. It is a mutation of our species into something for which the end result is not yet known. The changes are not known publicly, because the scientific community feels it would frighten the population. However, people are changing at the cellular level. I am working with 3 children right now who have 3 DNA helixes. Most people know and feel this. Many religions have talked about the change, and know it will come about in different ways. We know it is a positive mutation even though physically, mentally, and emotionally it can be misunderstood and frightening. PR. Are these children displaying any characteristics different from other children? BF. These are children who can move objects across the room just by concentrating on them, or they can fill glasses of water just by looking at them. They are telepathic. You would almost think by knowing these children that they are half angelic or superhuman, but they're not. I think they are what we are growing into during the next few decades. PR. Do you think this will happen to all of us? BF. It seems like most people who were born before 1940 have not been able to make the shift, but have initiated something into the next generation that gives them the capacity to form another helix within our lifetime. Our immune and endocrine systems are the most evident of these changes. That is one of the reasons I work with research in immunological testing and therapy. Some adults that I have tested actually do have another DNA helix forming. Some are even getting their third. These people are going through a lot of major shifts in their consciousness and physical bodies, because it is all one. In my opinion, the earth and everyone here is raising its vibration. Many of the children born recently have bodies that are magnetically lighter. Those of us that are older and choose to change have to go through many physical changes. PR. What causes change in bodies born with normal 2-strand DNA? BF. The easiest way to mutate our DNA is through a virus. Consequently, viruses are not necessarily bad. Viruses live only on living tissue. DNA viruses like Epstein-Barr and the herpes number 6 change cellular structure. The retrovirus HIV is not a DNA virus. Instead of mutating the body, it actually eats it up. Most people who go through this process and come out the other side have a new profession, a new way of thinking, or at least a starting of a new way of life. Even though they may feel really sick, tired, or hopeless at times, it is a gift. They are being given a chance to change their DNA structure and their body into a lighter, healthier body that can see them into the next generation. The angels that are being seen are signs that we are shifting. As I understand it, we have until about 2012 to complete this process. PR. What other changes should we expect to see? BF. There will be no disease, we will not need to die. We will be able to learn our lessons, not through suffering, but through joy and love. The old system has to crumble away, and is not doing that without putting up a big fight. So you have all the wars, a lot of the medical type of healing is not working, the government is not working. A lot of the old paradigms can no longer exist yet are fighting to be maintained, but there is no doubt that it is changing. Those of us who have chosen to live at this time are the forerunners of almost a new species. It is human, yet we are at the same time actually manifesting heaven on earth. We are receiving extra help from masters and extraterrestrials, angelic beings, and learning to go inward. The more we are able to go in and listen to that quiet voice, the more we are in tune with the changes that are happening. PR. What are some of the side effects of these changes? BF. With a cellular change you are sometimes going to feel as though you are not here. You may feel exhaustion, because we are literally changing cells and becoming new beings. Like a new baby, you may need lots of rest. Mental confusion and not being able to concentrate on routine tasks may happen, as we are being programmed for something larger. Aches and pains throughout the body for which there is no specific cause are common. Many people feel as though they are going crazy. If they go into an orthodox medical office, most likely they will be put on Prozac, because they can't define what it is. It is difficult for the medical profession, because they are not used to dealing with the energetic body. Because the chakras are related to our endocrine system, women will go through hormonal changes. There may be crying without knowing why, because crying releases hormones. Many women are going through menopause earlier because we are accelerating. Men may be very frustrated with the exhaustion, when they are used to being very active. They may feel their feminine side coming out because this is the intuitive side. The emotional therapy that has been coming out in the last 20 to 30 years has been speeded up with new techniques for these changes. We are actually doing a tremendous amount of emotional work in a very short time, which would have taken thousands of years. PR, how do you treat someone who is going through these changes? BF, I approach it from the viewpoint of working with individual beings instead of treating a disease. Doctor in Latin means educator. The only effective service you can perform, as a true healer, is to empower individuals with the necessary tools, and reassure them that what is happening is real, and that they can heal, and be free of the negative symptoms while healing. First, I require immunological testing, that is not traditionally done. This is a blood laboratory test performed by an advanced specialty research lab. Then I give the patient the information themselves. This is much like a map of the changes so they can have the power to heal. I am not the healer but only an instrument in their individual healing process. There is power in a person looking at their own blood tests, and seeing the map of what is going on in their bodies, that causes something to click in the subconscious. The real key is that the person take responsibility and do their own work. What I use as tools are not commonly used. I use a lot of organotherapy, which is a glandular treatment from Europe, to build up the hormonal system to accept the changes in the DNA. Also, I use homeopathy to work on the energetic body, vitamins, herbs, and cold laser therapy. The therapy depends entirely on individual needs. Much of what I do has been accessed from those whom I would call older sisters and brothers, who have gone on before us. They are from other solar systems, that we have all come from, to help this planet with its transition. PR, how do you see your work evolving? BF, I look at my work as a bridge or transition. It is both scientific and artistic. Healing is an art and a science. Using only science or just the art of healing is not enough for complete health. I don't think I will be a healer all my life, because I believe disease will be eliminated. We, as conscious people, will eliminate disease and suffering. 3. Remedies for the side effects extracted from an article The Bigger Picture by Susanna Thorpe Clarke. We are being changed physically from carbon-based beings with 2 strands of DNA into crystalline beings with 1024 strands of DNA eventually, in time, because only crystalline substances can exist on higher dimensional levels.